Good afternoon, listeners. This is Trevor Pire, and today we'll be talking about mental health. I have a guest alongside with me who will help me navigate through this topic. So, my first question for my guest is, at what point did you realize that you have a mental health problem?
So the first time I realized that I had a mental health problem was back in high school, when I was in Form 3. That's when I started having mood swings, and I was not participating in discussions in class, or I was not even participating in anything generally. So I went back home. I was still not improving. So that's when my parents decided to make me go see a doctor, and that's when I was referred to a psychiatrist. And yes, that's when I first knew that I actually had a mental health problem.
Okay, so the next question. What does mental health mean to you?
Mental health it's something close to my heart, as I believe each and every person does have a mental health issue. But to me specifically, it's an important factor in a person's life, as it helps you emotionally, physically, and also socially. So mental health is really important.
So to the next question. How has the meaning changes before you became a victim?
So before I became a victim of mental health, I used to think it was not that much of an issue. I actually used to think people pretend to have this thing, but the moment I had it, it really, really changed my perspective.
On to the next question. How long did it take you to seek medical attention?
Honestly, it didn't take me a lot of time, because I knew I had a problem and I wanted to fix my problem. So I said, let me estimate I was reluctant at first for like a month, but after 1 month, I actually opened up to seeing a therapist and getting the help that I deserved.
Okay, on to the next question. How long did it take you to find a suitable doctor to carry out you through your journey of healing?
I think I won't say I was lucky. I didn't go through a lot of doctors, because the first doctor that I went to is the doctor that actually diagnosed me and helped me with my medication and my recovery process. So to me, I'm lucky, but I have had stories. Other people are not really that lucky. It does take a while for them to get a really, really good specialist. But for me, thank God.
On to the next question. What is the process of healing of a mental health victim? The healing process. Could you describe the healing process for us?
Well, my healing process was I had to go through a lot of sessions with my therapist, and the sessions actually ranged with how severe your illness is. For some people, it's really extreme, so it does take a while, like maybe 1 to 2 years. For some people, it's not really that much extreme, so it does take few months, maximum 1 year. And I also have some pills, some medication I take, and that also really, really helps. So it ranges, the timeline ranges.
Okay. What do you think people don't understand or overlook in mental health?
Honestly, I think people think mental health can never affect you. That's what I used to think, and when it affected me, that's when I used to believe it can affect anyone. So people should take this seriously, and everyone can become a victim of this thing. It's not really specifically for a certain type of people or a certain criteria of people. It happens to anyone. It can happen to you, to your mother. So you should have that open-mindedness when it comes to mental health affecting people.
Okay, from time to time it's evident through research that mental health is linked to femicide and suicide. Could you describe for us how it is linked, since you understand the scope of mental health? You can start with the femicide.
I'd say a lot of, there's a rise of femicide cases right now, currently. So I feel like if you're really a third party to watching this femicide and everything, you may get depression and you'll have anxiety caused by this, because every time you'll be thinking and you'll be having stress and wondering, am I going to be the next one? Is my family, is the female people in my family are going to be the next one? So there's that aspect of being like a third party to it, and there's also it affects you personally. If you have gone through femicide, you do get to hate yourself and you get to go through depression, and this may lead to actually suicide. So that's how it gets linked, because if I have gone through femicide and I'm just tired of life, I'll go on and commit suicide, because that would be the easy way out, rather than going and seeking help and everybody knowing that I am damaged and I'm messed up. So yes, I feel like it actually has a linkage.
Femicide and suicide.
Yes.
Okay. Currently, there's a 16-day activism against gender-based violence. What's your take on that initiative, and how will it help to reduce the amount of cases that are happening concerning femicide and all other?
So I think through the initiative, first of all, it gets to raise awareness. So it creates awareness that this thing is common. It's not happening to one person, it happens to everyone. So, and again, it encourages people to come out. If you're going through it, you should not be alone. You should not keep it to yourself. Just go out, seek help. People are willing, and people are actually people are willing, so willing to help. So I feel like that initiative brings that aspect of, raising awareness and encouraging people to come out. Yes.
On to the next. So for someone who can't, for someone who's not, really doesn't have the confidence to seek medical attention, what is your advice to them? If I'm not ready to go to the doctor or speak to my parent, what's the first initiative I can take? What's the first aid for mental health?
Well, I do believe the first step is accepting it yourself. The moment you accept it yourself and you believe you're not the only one, it'll make it easier for you, both mentally, and you can go to a trusted person. We always have that one trusted person, whether it's our best friend, whether it's our sibling, or even a parent, or even these religious leaders. We have pastors and imams, so you can go to one trusted person and tell them what you're going through, and maybe they can help you through that. Or we also have organizations, and this like Usikimia, they actually keep your identity a secret. If you want it to be a secret, they actually keep it a secret, and they get to help you and rescue you from this problem and all the situation you're going through.
On to the next. So through research, the amount of cases of mental health are mostly from the youths. Why do you think this is so? For the youth, I'll say there's just a lot of things going on with the youth. We have academic stress, which can also lead to this. And we also have the standards that they have for themselves, which can also lead to a quite number of mental illnesses. We also have maybe family situations and what's going on in their homes and between their parents. We also have that. So the youth do have a lot of factors. As we conclude, I want to ask you, so what initiative can women take specifically to stimulate the protection against this violence? Not women only, even men can take these initiatives to protect themselves against this type of violence that is going on.
I'll say one initiative that they could take is going and joining groups. We have like the chamas, we also have the women chamas and the male chamas. And I feel like having these groups can actually help you emotionally. And when you have this bond with people and you trust them, it will be easier for you to ask for help. And people can also take classes. We have self-defense classes for women. So if you're in such situations, you can actually defend yourself. You can also get to buy protective, we can have pepper sprays, they're called pepper sprays. You can also carry them with you during nights, or if you have night shifts or you're coming out of classes late. So you can also carry them just as an extra protection for you. Thank you.
So far, according to you, as you have gone through your mental health healing process, where you've reached currently, what can you tell us? What advice can you give us?
An advice I can give is be ready for help. Let your mind be open to help. When you go to a therapist, talk to them, tell them what your problem is, because they know it. The people who are experiencing this and people who know better than you. And also, when you have that type of medication, do not leave the medication. And sometimes people actually get back to that phase, which is okay.
Relapsing.
Yes, exactly. That's the word. You can also relapse. So that's very common. It's actually very, very common to relapse. You can have triggers, you can have maybe some triggers and you might relapse, but that's also okay because you can just go back to your therapist and talk it out and you'll get better.